Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium, glinting in the Tokyo sunshine. But it's not outdoors that we are worried about, it's what's going on inside that massive auditorium. It is the crunch time for the Paralympic table tennis competition. And this is our schedule on table 2. First, the men's singles class 11, and then another cracker in prospect class 10 gold medal match as well. Down to just the 2 tables, the sitting table. This is the standing table for classes 6 to 10, and also 11, which is for intellectual disability. And that is the route to the gold medal match that both Peter Palos and Samuel von Einem have had to take. Palos ranked number 1 in the world, von Einem not far behind him. You await the arrival of the athletes. There was a reverential hush when it was China versus China. The athletes were certainly there, but not wanting to voice support for one over the other. Might be a bit different here. Hungary against Australia, the 35-year-old against the 26-year-old, and we already have quite a few athletes supporting their compatriots in the stand. A few interested onlookers as well, including our officials are awaiting the athletes as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men's singles class 11 gold medal match.
男子シングルスクラス11決勝戦選手入場です。
Representing Hungary,
ハンガリー代表
Peter Palos.
Here he is then, the man who won gold in London, bronze in Rio. He's looked very, very good in the last few days as he's made his way through to the final. How he would love to have a second gold medal to his name. He is the man to beat at the moment.
Australia,
オーストラリア代表
Samuel Philippe von Einem.
Well, the 26-year-old, very, very impressive. The man from Adelaide, silver at Rio in the singles. World Championship bronze as well, so he's certainly a prospect. And just a couple of ranking places behind Palos when it comes to the world rankings.
So let's introduce the umpires for this third final.
Officials will get us underway with the coin toss. And then we will get the warm-up underway and we can get into the meat of this match. It should be a cracker. I wouldn't like to predict this one. Certainly you think Palos starting, because of his ranking, slightly higher, but von Einem has been very impressive as well.
So let's take a look at
go along with all of that, and actually look at their the head-to-head between the two of them backs up that point of view that this could be tight. Palos, the slight favourite, of course, more experience overall, and of course with a gold medal in this event in the past. But Van Einem at the same time, as you were alluding to, with some big achievements in his career and with victories. I think it's very important in terms of a head-to-head coming into a match like this to know that you've beaten the opponent in the past, and that's the case with both of them. Palos has had a couple of victories, but Van Einem has also beaten the Hungarian on a couple of occasions, the head-to-head at 2 apiece. Coming into this one, of course, the biggest match in their head-to-head so far, with all due respect to the Hungarian Open, a couple of occasions, Slovenian Open, and indeed the Global Games that were played in 2019. They're not at the level of this one. This is the biggest stage of the sport and the biggest match, the biggest matches they'll play in their careers.
That's for sure. Paralympic Games, the pinnacle of the sport. And, we will shortly see just what these two have as we get underway.
Representing Hungary, Peter Palos, Paralympic champion from London 2012 and Athens 2004. He will
to get underway with the warm-up. And then I'm sure these athletes, like the rest of us, anxious to get into the meat of the action.
Often forget with Palos, actually, that he's a 2-time Paralympic gold medalist, one in Athens in 2004. It seems like a long time ago. Everyone references London. I think he tries to remind everyone, hang on, I've won a couple here. This is his route through. Not been an easy one. Lost games in all of his matches. He's had to showcase all of that experience, I think, to reach the gold medal match once again. Van Einem's also dropped games along the way. The one that stands out, of course, the previous round, the revenge that he got over Florian Van Acker. The Belgian, of course, beat him for the gold medal 5 years ago in Rio. So a good measure of revenge, but will it mean that much unless he can cap it off here with the gold, I wonder?
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same as a 2-time silver medalist. He'd like to be a gold medalist at some stage. Luis Picardo from Dominican Republic is our umpire, alongside our assistant umpire, Milana Kremelj of Slovenia. They will keep this match on the rails.
Certainly a different atmosphere, isn't it, to some of the others we've had. Of course, fortunately, we don't have spectators, but in terms of the respective groups as well, the athletes who've been eliminated, of course, by this point, had all China matches, haven't we, in the earlier sessions, which have used that phrase, that kind of reverential atmosphere to it. I don't think it's going to be that way here. The Australian support already suggesting they're going to look to get involved and cheer on Van Einem, and I'm sure the Hungarians at the same time for Palos will be looking to do the same thing.
Samuel Van Einem against Peter Palos then. The gold medal match in Group 11 for those with intellectual impairment. And these will, I am sure, serve up some great entertainment. Palos said it seemed to be an easy sport. You only have to hit the ball to the other side. Or so I thought. He started training then and decided it was a little bit more difficult. I love that quote. It seems simple. What could possibly be so difficult about this sport? Quite a lot. We'll see how difficult it is. Gold medal match in Class 11. It's Palos against Van Einem. Palos was definitely a quick learner. Made his debut in 2003, 3 years after taking up table tennis, so it certainly suits him.
This is a dialed-in start from Van Einem, who does start as a slight underdog. It's probably a bit too strong. He's beaten Palos before. Palos is a slight favourite here, despite the fact that he's had the tougher route through the draw, on all accounts.
Van Einem represented Australia in able-bodied table tennis at junior level, played tennis at national level as well. So he's an all-round athlete, really. His hero is Roger Federer, so he likes a bit of tennis as well.
Anticipating that well. It was a good little kind of shovel push receive from Palos, but Van Einem right across there very quickly. Of course, got lucky with the edge, but did very well to get across to his forehand side. You know, both these two have picked up multiple awards as well, have been recognised in their respective home nations for their achievements. Very well regarded at home, as well as globally. Super shot. Just how he just took a bit of fade on the last forehand, von Einem there. Didn't look to hit it too hard. Just wanted to fade it, drop it a little bit off the table there to reduce Palosh's chances of retrieving it. It's clever play.
Oh, that's a great rally, high quality from both of them. Palosh just edging it.
It's that ability to redirect early in the rally that von Einem showed previously, but Palosh did there. Just catch the opponent out, quick change of direction.
Oh, it's gone long. He did everything right in that point until the end. That last shot just going long. It's moving Palosh around, but you've got to hit the table. Good serve, lots of spin on there. Gets him back into that 2-point advantage.
And he just put a little bit of backspin on that as well. You can see Palosh trying to loop with the receive, but because of the backspin, wasn't able to lift it up. It's a good service as well there. That one was laced with backspin. Extremely difficult to pick that up.
Yeah, returned the compliment, didn't he? He's fired up. He's ready for this. Certainly wants to establish some sort of supremacy early on if he can.
And quality serving, actually. Maybe not so much reflected the numbers here so far. Seemed a bit better than that, with 4 and 3 von Einem at the moment. Very good third ball attack there, though. And he's made that. Look at this receive from Palosh. It's actually pretty deep. Yes, okay. Could have got it a little bit lower over the net, but it wasn't a bad receive.
5-game points then. Von Einem bossing this first game. One thing he's not got to do is get all tentative on himself. That'll do it. Just bamboozling Palosh on that point. Couldn't get the racket to it, and the gold and green in the stands are energised because it is Samuel von Einem who leads by a game to nothing. That one 11-6 in favour of the Australian.
Yeah, just able to make a bit more of an impression on the receive than Palosh managed overall. Looking at those numbers from the opening game, 6 and 3 in favour of von Einem, 3 and 5 Palosh. He had a couple of good receives in, and therefore his next ball, because the quality of the receive, Palosh couldn't do much with his third ball, couldn't attack in the same way. See that one there, that receive just popping up a little bit. Very critical though. I mean, it wasn't a bad receive. It's just the quality of the attack though. It was made to look that way.
You see how much rotation von Einem gets on those forehands.
Yeah, he's impressive when he winds up on the third ball attack, especially on the forehand side, when he can move into his backhand corner, create the space. Saw quite a bit of that from him in that opening game.
Well, the body language would suggest that von Einem is the happier of the two, and he is a game up. Second game, Palosh with a bit of work to do here. And if he serves like that, it'll be in with half a chance. Nice touch of the net. So
same serve actually twice.
Yeah,
he's just played it with a little bit of top spin and a bit of side, which is the way I'm seeing it. It's the way the problem was with Van Einem there trying to loop, but a bit of side, taking it long on both occasions. It will be off the tape the second time round. He's gone with the top spin serve there, hard and deep. Yeah, both mixing it up well actually. I think Palosh's numbers in game 3 and 5 on serve. I thought he served better than that.
Great serve, good angle, set up the point. Still had a bit of work to do though.
He's strong away from the table there. Just took a step back, Van Einem. Very strong on the drive.
It's a cagey second game openings from both of these, trading blows, looking for supremacy.
Same serve again. 3 times now here. You think he'd be looking for it there a little bit more. Just go for the push receive rather than look to be so aggressive on Einem, having missed it twice.
Yeah, just get it back over.
Start the point. Try to be aggressive again.
Better. Managing to extend the point. He's always in with a chance when that happens.
I actually feel like he's edging, Palosh at the moment when they're into those exchanges. Just broken play away from the table. Oh, we've gone for a little strawberry there, receive. Nice variation. Not going for the push there, just the strawberry, of course, coming round the outside of the ball there. Kind of circular, call it a strawberry because it ends up looking a bit like the shape of a strawberry, the motion.
It's going to be tight. Both scrambling their way in this game, looking to get some dominance. Will it be the same serve that we've seen so much in this game? Well, it worked. He's dominating his serve, that's for sure.
Yeah, very good third ball attack from Palosh that time because Van Einem had been looking for that receive and found it. But Palosh was there. Very good loop. Now he's well below the height of the table there, Palosh. Heavy loop top spin.
It was a spin that did for Van Einem. He's in a bit of trouble here. Palosh is just starting to show his experience. I think he's starting to work out his opponent here.
Yeah, very solid there away from the table without going for an outright, just clean, huge cut. He was much more solid. Van Einem couldn't hit through him there. Fishing around there. I think he needed a few more. He needed the back hoardings. He needed a bit more court space. Actually, Palosh got stuck there.
Or
at
an extra couple of meters height.
Yes.
Oh, that's better. 2 good points from the Australian, and his confidence would have been boosted by that.
Yeah, no, he gets the thumbs up there because I mean that's not a bad loop from Palosh, but of course the loop with the top spin. You can get to the contact point, you can connect flatter, you can do what Van Einem did there.
And look at the reaction from Palosh, furious with himself. And he just recomposes himself, ready for the next point.
Ever so slightly reaching for that, Van Einem. Just a touch slow getting up to that ball. It's difficult when it's just dropping there, no pace, short in the table. You've got to go and you've got to end up reaching for it a lot of the time, and therefore you've got to bring it back up and down. You're not quite set.
That was tentative from Van Einem. So ebbing and flowing this second game, but Palos is the man with the 3 game points.
Caught the back edge.
It has caught the edge. Well, the hand went up in apology, but he will take that every day of the week. And an excellent second game from Peter Palos. And the 35-year-old equals the efforts of Van Einem in the first game. They're level at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, it's a good effort from him using his experience, Palos. He was just able to be a bit more, talked about it there, a bit more steady in the rally. Van Einem not able to use his forehand to hit through Palos quite as often. Numbers improved as a result, because we saw Palos actually behind his serve quite a few third ball attacks that bore dividends. I mean, his numbers 3 and 5 in the first game, up to 7 and 3. So from a -2 differential to 4 in his favour, and Van Einem just trading at 4 apiece in that second game. Not able to make quite as much of an impression on his forehand as in the first game, the Australian.
Easy on the eye of that forehand, isn't it, from the Australian? He's got to make it work a little bit more effectively in this third game. Getting behind Van Einem, the Australian contingent. He has the serve as we start this third game.
Johnny, come on! Come on!
A sorry from Palos.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I love the point, but I am sorry. That was a clever little bit of disguise from Palos. Van Einem a little bit slow to spot the danger.
Yeah, definitely, because that receive wasn't on, because he didn't read the service. He sent it through there a bit flatter. I think Van Einem there was expecting the topspin serve. He's looping very well, Palos. I mean, the problem when you're looping below the height of the table is you're obviously playing up. You're playing up with the ball, and we've seen Van Einem a couple of times able to get on top of the ball and drive it away, but Palos is actually keeping a good length. Not there with the push receive, but with his looping, when he's below the height of the table, he's been effective. This here, it's just popping up. With that, you've got to, it's not even so much the backspin, you've got to get that closer to the net, just skimming the net, the tape, which he didn't manage there. That topspin serve straight into his chest. So quickly onto the Hungarian. Even trying to receive with topspin. No time to time it correctly. Yeah, he's just gesturing there what he wanted to do, but the point was he didn't have any time to do it. Scuttled onto him so quickly with the topspin.
He is fired up. He's got the support of the larger contingent in the stands. Oh, you've got to make a fine and very quick judgment whether to jump in and try for the winner or just get it back, and it was the wrong decision from Van Einem that time.
Yeah, because people often say with a topspin serve, okay, you can always attack that because you can just receive with topspin, but as you suggest, it's just fractional. You've got fractions of a second there because a lot of it is to do with the quality of the topspin serve. It's not just it's coming on with topspin, but it's also where it lands in the table in terms of the placement. That's what Palos did previously there. Playing very smartly, mixing up his placements.
Well, it was a forehand slugfest for most of that point, and in the end it was Von Einem who out-muscled Palos.
Yeah, well described. I mean, he's having to work much harder now, though, because Palos is fishing away defensively so well, so much better than he was able to do at the start of the match. Grateful for a cheaper point there, Von Einem there.
Isn't it fascinating, just the ebbs and flows within a match of table tennis? And we're seeing it here, Von Einem now reinvigorated.
Side spin, switching up well there to the backhand side. Backhand service there, Palos. It's good variation again. That's a typical Von Einem point there, where he's just rolled with a bit of side and backspin there. Again, popping up, and Palos, that's one area perhaps. Just concentrate on the backspin receive. He's trying to go deep. I think actually maybe he could try to drop shorter in the table sometimes. Because he's going deep, he's having to play with a bit more height. There he goes with the top spin receive. Still getting a lot of Von Einem here, doing very nicely behind his own serve in this game. That's putting a lot of pressure on Palos.
Yeah, he's only lost a couple on his serve, and he's making inroads on Palos's serve as well now.
Yes.
There was in the second game, of course, couldn't buy a point off the serve.
No, it's just a better receive from Von Einem there. Keeping it nice and low, and you could see Palos trying to be aggressive on the attack, but more difficult on that receive.
He's edging closer. 6-10. 4 game points for Von Einem to edge into a lead in this match. And this one's long. Still has the serve though. It's in his hands. That'll do it. Again, a fast, deep surprise serve. And look at the reaction from the green and gold in the stands. Von Einem takes the third game 11-7, leads this gold medal match by 2 games to 1. Well, it really has ebbed and flowed.
Yeah, no, that second game point for Von Einem, a case in point there again, where he throws in the topspin service. He's disguising well, because the thing about a topspin service, we don't see it there so much, but it's just at the last minute the sleight of hand, because so many times he's gone with pendulum, reverse pendulum, he's gone with reverse pendulum there, for instance, and then throws in the topspin serve. He's done it well because he's disguised it, and it's just at the last minute, just a slight change. And that's what Palos isn't picking up. Sometimes, as I say, viewers can kind of look at that and go, okay, the topspin serve's easy to receive. Not at this level, because when you're using it, when you're throwing it in occasionally, as Von Einem's doing, it's very difficult to read that, to pick that up. And then, as we said, you've got fraction of a second there to make your choice, and so Palos is going with a topspin receive. He hasn't got much time, because if he's in position for a backspin service and he's going with a topspin, obviously he's going to find the net most of the time.
Well, Palos knows he has to win the next 2 games if he wants to be the gold medalist here. Von Einem could wrap it up in game 4. got there eventually. And despite the 2 net cords, was able to surprise Van Einem.
There's no limit, of course, to the number of lets that you can have in a row. It does just alter the rhythm, though, a little bit. I think you have lets. Van Einem is a player who likes to get into rhythm on his forehand, start striking forehand after forehand, and what those lets have done is just maybe just break the rhythm for the moment for him. He's looking to build up.
They're in the fast server game. Palos, I think, wise to it and happy to engage in that diagonal shot for shot. 4-0, looking good in this 4th game.
That one hasn't come through. I mean, looked a conventional drive there. Palos is quizzically looking at the table here. Get another look at it here. I mean, his dribble just seemed to maybe just come through a bit flatter. It was a topspin drive.
Well, he's back in this 4th game. And he'll take the towel, will Palos. Very sensible indeed.
It's warm down there at table level, at court level, under the lights, even with the air conditioning system here in the arena.
There's a lot of side spin on that, goodness
such
me.
Beautiful control as well from Palos. You know, where he's connecting there, so low, below the height of the table. You've got to get that up, and also not too much height that Van Einem can then just lean in on it and smash it away. Such good control, as well as the side spin.
Control that point as well, just manoeuvring Van Einem around the table. Just percentage shots from the Hungarian.
Yeah, it's cagey as well. I mean, the point prior, of course, he was defending, but there, as you suggest, that's more aggressive control, if you like, from Palos. Oh, what about that for a receive?
Just slapped it dismissively.
I mean, you call it a flick receive. It's a bit more than a flick. That was superb from Van Einem.
And that's the kind of receive that will stick in Palos's mind and may just affect his selection of serves as well.
Absolutely right, because I think Van Einem there is doing something slightly differently. Just glanced across it, took a little bit more pace, and therefore he's not getting the same ball to loop, to counter loop with Palos. But I think the Hungarian's getting a good blend here. I mean, they're more looking to be aggressive through his backhand side, but in general what he's doing is Van Einem is a player that likes the rhythm, likes being able to strike consecutive forehands. Gets a bit lucky there, Palos, because just catches the back edge of the table. But what he's been doing, of course, he's been looping, he's been mixing up the heights as well when he's been away from the table, and that's not giving Van Einem the same ball to attack consistently. Smart play.
A little moisture on the racket. Last thing you want as a player. Can alter the trajectory of the ball. He has got back into the groove with the serve in this 4th game. Was a bit at sea in the third.
Yeah, the thing about the moisture is it's just the grip. You obviously lose the grip on both on the rubber and on the ball if there's any moisture there. And second time and that's even more dismissive. He's read that serve so well to be able to be up there, Van Einem, to drive that away. It's just total read of the serve. That's so impressive.
He's hanging in.
Yeah, loop this time. Too deep in the table, too high to attack it. Tough to find winners from back there for Von Einem. Wants to be at least a step closer to the table.
Manage the point if you can a little bit more effectively. 4 game points then from Palos. And just needs the one. Pushed long again from Von Einem. And we go to a decider. It's 2 games apiece. Well, these two just trading blows and trading games. And whoever's won the game has dominated it.
It's you're suggesting is the importance of the start, actually, and it's just that's going to be the way as well in this deciding 5th game to come. Not surprised, actually, it's going the distance here. It's about the head-to-head between them, 2 apiece, so they both know they can beat the other. And in terms of their form that they've shown through the draw here in Tokyo as well, the form they've shown, but also some fallibility, drop games along the way. I'm not surprised this is personally that this is going to go the distance. And as you say, I mean, it's about the importance of the start here in what's basically a 1-game shootout for the gold medal. Who can get those first few points, because that's what we've seen in the match, in the gold medal match. Those first 4 games, whoever's got out in front generally has held on to it.
And bear in mind, Von Einem has been engaged in several 3-2 matches in this tournament. So it's not going to be a surprise to him to be in this situation.
Palos as well, of course, though, the last couple of rounds, the quarters and the semis. But in the semi, of course, as you say, Von Einem coming through, getting that revenge for the loss in the gold medal match to Von Acker 5 years ago. No, they've both got the experience of this situation, but this is a situation like no other.
Nervous 5th game. This is where we are in the gold medal match.
It's just fascinating what we've seen across the first 4 games. Von Einem, I don't think he'll look to do too much differently here. The forehand's going to be key for him. Does he get the opportunity really to be effective with it, though, or can Palos vary the play?
No.
Can Von Einem serve as effectively as that? Because he's maybe served the better of the 2 overall. But Palos has got such guile as well, ability to loop, keep that ball in play, mix it up. There's so many variables here. And threw the reverse pendulum in there. Palos didn't get anything for it, but he was able eventually to push Von Einem back.
Von Einem played a really good point until the last shot. He'll be disappointed not to have won that one.
Yeah, he's steady here. Palos, pendulum serve this time. Not looking to do too much, but equally mindful of Von Einem's forehand, I think, there. Just keeping good length, good height over the net. Don't give him the opportunities to get in with that forehand strike. Good change of direction from Von Einem that time.
Yeah, he's played well without much reward early on in this opening section of the 5th game. Oh, and that took the net and took Von Einem by surprise. Not much he could do about that.
Yeah, net and back edge, completely unplayable.
Yeah, you'd say sorry, but you'd pick it every time, wouldn't you?
Especially in the 5th. In a gold medal match, you would. He's got the services, of course, to come here as well, Palos.
Will we be getting a timeout soon from the Australians?
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. And you can't say it's surprising. It just looked like it might run away at 5-2 in this 5th game. Stop the momentum. Have a word of encouragement in the ear. Say you're doing it well. However, you might want to change just this one thing. That's the coach's job. Yeah,
there is that, but as you alluded to, I think it is here. It's just to break the momentum of of Palos here in this fifth that he built up. I mean, it's just a couple of points, but it felt like, as you said, felt like a bit more than that was developing for the Hungarians. So yeah, they were keen to use. They've kept the timeout back. Of course, you're only allowed one through the course of the match. Palos has still got his to use maybe later in a more advanced situation. But yeah, I can understand why Van Arnhem's coach has gone for it here at this stage.
Just the 60 seconds, and then we're back into the action. And he's certainly winning the vocal support.
Yeah, the service with Palos. Still got one more to come.
Well, it's a try, wasn't it, from Van Arnhem?
Yeah, I was slightly surprised he was getting ready to serve. There's still one more to come here. Oh, we had a snake there from Palos midway through. There's some fantastic defence for nothing. We might get a look at it here again. He's back away fishing. This is actually a little bit later on in the point. But there was a proper snake underneath there from below the height of the table. The snake, of course, because of the, again, the arc that the shape of the ball to resemble, of course, the outline of a snake. Not really sure the timeout's broken Palos's momentum yet. Just seems in a very good headspace. There, though, that's very awkward, that loop. I mean, if you see where he is, how much that ball has dropped, he's actually done well to make the loop from there. You can't actually see the ball there on your picture because it drops so far below the height of the table.
Well, wound up, but the ball dips on him, and it's just starting to look like Palos might get that second gold after the London triumph. Of course, the bronze in Rio. There's still some work to do.
Oh, what a good reverse. There's everything on that back, a little bit of side and just going through with the arm, Palos. That was loaded. Look at this, how the ball deviates. I mean, what do you do with that ball? Do you push back? It's probably going to pop up. Do you attack it? Very difficult to attack it. How short it is in the table. Very good connection.
Sticking in. He's not giving up just yet. Back to 3, the deficit.
That's good from Van Arnhem as well. They're reaching forwards to find the winner from there. Kind of teased him. It was plenty of backspin, but also plenty of height. Talked a lot about this, about Palos's receive. And Van Arnhem keen, of course, to attack the third ball, but it kind of teased him there. There wasn't really any pace on it that time. Had to generate all of it himself. Just forced it a bit too much.
Important point. Did well to readjust and react to the net cord. Trying to keep Palos away from match point. And a timeout this time.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was expecting that from Palos because, of course, he's got the still one serve to come here. Wants to bring up gold medal points, having lost that one there. Wouldn't have got it. I think if he'd won that point there, I don't think it would have come into play. It's the fact that he's lost it. He just wants to break things up a little bit and just focus. Actually, more importantly here, it's not about breaking momentum on Van Arnhem because that isn't really there. It's more, okay, let's discuss the second service in the rotation here. Where do we go? Where's the third ball attack? Because if I make that, I have 4 gold medal points. Simple as that. So that's why keeping the timeout this late on, it could work out very nicely for him.
Interesting to see Van Arnhem not trying to top spin, just a little slap back to get the mistake from Palos, just being self-contained in a moment of stress, as he knows he's very, very close to losing this match. Oh, unlucky from von Einem, who worked very hard, but powerful from Palos, and he has 4 gold medal points here in Tokyo.
Yeah, the timeout didn't really work immediately. Obviously, had to work a lot harder. Wasn't as the point as they would have visualised it, but all the same, got the job done.
Not yet. Von Einem's still alive here. And that's very brave, winding up the forehand.
He'd like another timeout here, Palos, actually, just to do what he was looking to do last time around at 9-6.
Well, he's taking the towel. He's walking very slowly towards the ball.
I was about to say that the towel opportunity, of course, after every 6 points was, well, it could work out to be very useful for him here, because it's effectively broken up the play and given him a moment to just visualise here what he wants to do on this match point.
Oh, there's an air shot. That's a 3rd match point saved by von Einem.
Just couldn't get the cheap, couldn't get the, von Einem got a very good receive in there. Because of course, when you're visualising the service, you're visualising a ball popping back up, and then you can come in with your 3rd ball attack, and he didn't get that.
Right smile from Palos. Still got the chance to wrap it up here.
Goes to the backhand service.
And that'll do it. Disappointment from von Einem. He worked so hard to get back in that last game. But Palos has a 2nd Paralympic gold medal. After London, here he is in Tokyo. And it's hugs all round for the Hungarian. Peter Palos, the man from Budapest, takes gold in the Class 11 category.
Class 11 gold medal match representing Hungary.
Yeah, just saw it out in the end there. It got a little bit tense. More disappointment, of course, with Samuel Philip von Einem there, having lost out to Florian van Acker in Rio. Now losing out again here in even more tight, heartbreaking fashion. Gave it everything, of course, saved the first 3 of those gold medal points. But Palos just got what he wanted on the 2nd of those serves there. Went to the backspin service, went with side and backspin, and just managed to knife it enough where von Einem wasn't able to pick it up. It's those fractions, really, margins there. Come on, 11-9 in the 5th, barely, basically nothing to separate them over the course of that really, really watchable 40 minutes.
He was canny. You felt he had the experience. He was going to be the one who was going to come through, if anybody. And you see up in the gods, there are some Hungarian, say, fans. They're part of the Hungarian team, of course, but cheering him on, and these are the stats. It was close.
Well, it's the 2 points the difference in the end. 11-9 in the 5th. That is it. Overall, it just illustrates. I mean, the differentials +5 plays +3. There's hardly anything in that at all. Just a really high-quality gold medal match in the Class 11, and as you say, he's the winner again here at the Paralympic Games, Peter Palos.
And it was well deserved. I think he did edge it. And it wasn't a question of being lucky or anything like that. Von Einem, I think, at 26 will come back even stronger in 3 years' time, and he'll have a little bit more authority and experience. And well, don't write him out for a 3rd, a 3rd medal at the Paralympics. Of course, a silver at Rio, silver here. He'll be disappointed, but Palos for sure a worthy champion in the Class 11 men's singles competition here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the women's singles Class 3.
皆様、ただいまより女子シングルスクラス3の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
The medals will be presented by
メダルの贈呈は
Mr. Nunomura Yukihiko, Vice Director General, COO of the Tokyo Organizing Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
布村幸彦東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会副事務総長。
Accompanied by
続きまして
Mr. Sakai Kazuya, President of Japan Para Table Tennis Association.
酒井和也日本肢体不自由者卓球協会会長。
Bronze medalist representing Republic of Korea and representing Republic of Korea.
銅メダリスト大韓民国および大韓民国
Lee Mi-gyu and Yoon Zi-yu. Silver medalist representing Slovakia,
銀メダリストスロバキア
Elena Kanova. Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing People's Republic of China.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオン中華人民共和国
Xu Zhuan. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of People's Republic of China.
皆様、中華人民共和国国歌の演奏です。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic medalists.
皆様、パラリンピックメダリストです。
Second medal ceremony down, 2 more medal ceremonies to go, 1 more final to go. That's the way it works out on this afternoon into evening session. And that 1 more final is the men's singles class 10 gold medal match, and it's Poland against France.
試合に続いて表彰式が終わったところですが、今日ラストマッチが控えています。この後男子シングルスクラス10決勝戦はポーランド代表対フランス代表のカードです。
and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men's singles Class 10 gold medal match.
男子シングルスクラス10決勝戦選手入場です。
Representing Poland,
ポーランド代表
Patryk Hojnowski.
So the Class 10 gold medal match here in the men's singles. First out, the gold medalist from London 2012, silver medalist last time out in this division, Patryk Hojnowski.
フランス代表
Mateo Boias.
His opponent here, France's Mateo Boias, 24 years of age, 4 in the rankings. Of course, Hojnowski, the world #1 in this division. Boias really improving here at these Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. He finished 5th in the singles in Rio. He's guaranteed at least the silver medal. He has firmly a shot at the gold here. Unlikely run in some ways when you think some of the other names that were in the draw have maybe expected Boias to be in the gold medal match, even at 4 in the rankings. Umpire here is Ernesto Rivero of Venezuela.
From Venezuela,
Venezuela
Ernesto Rivero.
It's Boias who's won that spin of the coin.
Asko
Decision.
Razina. Ladies and gentlemen, the official.
Asko Razinen of Finland is the assistant official here.
Our 2 athletes in this final representing France.
Hojnowski, the gold medalist from London, silver medalist in Rio, 2-time World Championship gold medalist, 2-time European Championship gold medalist as well, the current world and European champion, Hojnowski. And Boias here has, well, whichever way you look at it, has got a big task in front of him here if he's going to snare the gold medal.
It's interesting, isn't it? So the Polish athlete, you could argue he's underperformed at the Paralympic Games, because when you look at the stats for World Championships, European Championships, it's all 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Winner, 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 winner. Well, Paralympic Games, a gold and a silver. For his high standards, maybe a little bit disappointing, and he's looking just to add to his legend here. Both these athletes, of course, compete in able-bodied leagues as well, this being the Class 10, so this is the class with the least impairment categorised, and so expect a lot of movement, a lot of energy, and hopefully a lot of excitement.
Oh yeah, that's bound to come here, particularly with what they've provided on their way through. We'll have a look at more detailed look at their runs through the draw, but yeah, 2 very exciting players, as you say, who play club level table tennis. Hojnowski in Gdansk, back in Poland, and Boias, of course, playing at the Angers club, Les Loupes, as well, playing there, playing able body, which of course helps them when they come through to this level of competition here at these Paralympic Games, the fact they do that as well.
Hojnowski, obviously, as you say, where he lives is near the sea. He says he likes, as a hobby, walking his dog on the beach, which sounds very nice indeed. But to work with that image, it's not going to be a walk in the park here, is it?
No. It has been largely for him through this draw. Of course, Gilles de la Bourdonnais, very experienced Paralympic medalist in the past, but he's dealt with all his opponents very nicely so far. He's handled the matches how he started them. Boias, his big test against the Indonesian David Jacobs, where he was actually looking like he was going to win that semi-final more easily. He was 2 up, and then he just lost his way, really. I think he won 8 points across the next 2 games and was fortunate in some ways to pull through the decider, 11-8, and get through to this gold medal match, as he has done. Head-to-head here between the two doesn't make rosy reading for Boias. 7 matches played, as we confirm our officials. Hojnowski's won all of them. He's only dropped 7 games across the 28 that they've played previously. 7 wins out of 7.
I'm sure Boias is saying to himself, yeah, well, that has to end at some stage. Why not now?
The famous "no one beats me X times," in this case 8 times in a row, sort of thing going on. It's got to be the mentality.
Oh, I make that 9. Yeah, that's what he's hoping not to say at the end of this match.
Yes.
It's quite interesting, Bohias, when he's talked about his ambition, he's quite careful what he said. He said to win a medal in Tokyo and a gold medal in Paris. So he's there, he's on the trajectory. So whatever, I think that'll put him at ease. Whatever happens, he's got the medal. That's what he came here for. He'd love to go away with the gold.
Which colour is it going to be? I'm going to find out.
0-0.
Class 10 gold medal match here in the men's singles at these Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Patryk Hojnowski of Poland, the winner from London 2012, silver medalist last time out in Rio in this category, taking on Matteo Bohias of France, world #1, playing the world #4 here for the gold medal in Tokyo. And that service called there, splitting the first 2 points, these two. Complete gimme of a net cord there for Hojnowski. Can't follow up though. Picked the service, just mistimed it.
Giant of a man, isn't he? Absolutely. Big, big, big man. It's not always a help in table tennis, sometimes being a little bit further away from the surface.
Bohias there got down really nicely to the contact point there, kept nice and low. And where we're getting here, as alluded to in the class 10, of course, the least in terms of the level of impairment. I mean, you've got these guys, they play against non-disabled athletes for their club sides. Movement here, extremely good. And of course, therefore, the power, a lot of the power, as we saw from Bohias a little bit earlier, you can see from Hojnowski as well, is coming from the lower body. That base, trying to set up as wide a base as possible for your shots.
And amongst that power, we've seen some lovely little bits of touch and misdirection already in this match. 4 apiece. It might be a long one. We've had a few 5-gamers so far.
Excellent defence from Bohias there, away from the table. Yeah, the thing is with the head-to-head, 7-0, but you look at some of the matches recently, okay, the European Championships semi-final a couple of years ago, that was Hojnowski 3-0, but they've played on big stages actually, they've had some tight games. So that will give Bohias, I think, some hope, even if he's never beaten him before, that he's pushed him in quite a few of those 28 games. He's won 7 of them. You just expand the rivalry out a little bit. Okay, hasn't got the W at the end, but pushed him in a lot of the games they've played. It's good here, he's serving, he's mixing it up well. He's gone in there with a little bit of topspin actually on that one. In the end, to dupe Hojnowski, open up the lead of 3. And that one's red though, just went with the pendulum there with the backspin, and Hojnowski, as you can see, able to loop. Bring that ball up and down. Tried to go with the reverse pendulum, but missed its mark. And went reverse again, and saw it, went for the banana flick. We call it banana flick receive, because when you come round, it's the shape of a banana. Missing out though, Bohias, but 2 serves to come here. Still 2 up. Threw in the topspin service, but read by Hojnowski here. See, it just shoots through, but he manages to pivot into his backhand corner.
Has to get down, doesn't he? Get through the ball, but he does it so well and so quickly.
Yeah, so much power through the lower body there.
What a good comeback in this first game.
And it's just fascinating, though, as you were suggesting, in terms of the differences. I mean, the power coming from the lower body, but the different builds of these two. How they look to work their points, win their points. Well, I mean, that would have been an incredible get from Bohias, because he was basically on the floor here. And that little block attempt, he was on the ground.
Yeah. Couldn't do it, could he?
No.
But
he's falling backwards, that was the problem. Just couldn't get the control. A couple of game points here for Chojnowski. Yeah, takes it on the first of them. Again, read the backspin service from the backhand side, and it is the Pole who wins the opening game here of the gold medal match, 11-8.
They both started really well. I don't think there's any nerves there. Very positive from both of them. Chojnowski very, very able and came from behind to win that quite convincingly in the end.
Just felt like he was warming up, though, as the starting to get a few serve and third ball attacks in. Bohias started, of course, serving extremely well and receiving. But maybe as the game wore on, maybe that's the problem with the head-to-heads, although he's pushed him. Point on that is that Chojnowski in the head-to-head has generally come out on top in those tighter games. It's 121 of the 28 played, and now make that 22 from 29.
And that does become psychological. There is a psychological dam to be burst. And when it does happen, perhaps that's when he starts winning the golds.
So good, the attack from Chojnowski there, because that ball from Bohias landing on the back line of the table. A reverse pendulum, but it's a let serve. Caught the net on the way through. Just throws it in there. Wasn't really a topspin service, actually. He's kind of stabbing down on the ball there more than anything. Trying to get it to kick through off the table rather than go through with topspin. He loves that play, Chojnowski. Reverse and then across for the third ball. That's not a bad receive.
Didn't do too much wrong, did he? But he seemed to have all the time in the world for the winner.
He's such a good athlete, this is the thing. Across there so quickly. He doesn't read the spin there. You can see just popping up there. He was trying to go and stab the topspin service. Trying to backspin it back, and that's why it pops up and goes long. Let's serve off the reverse pendulum. And he's reading Bohias' services, going into the backhand there with the reverse that time, but he's seeing it so early.
Yeah, timeout called. And I was just thinking, when will it come? And the call came, because the second game and possibly the match starting to run away from the Frenchman.
Yeah, no, it's funny, isn't it, with timeouts, because I suppose historically since they came in, it started off with it always being played, okay, a 9-all or a 10-all or 10-9 at the back end of a game. But actually you see more and more, and you've seen in these Paralympic Games, where a player gets off to a poor start in a game, as Bohias has here, lost 4 of the first 5 points. Coach then just wants them back again, I think, to break the momentum, because there's not really much more you're going to say at that point, just a few points on from the end of the previous game. Not too much new. It is just to break the momentum, which Chojnowski was clearly starting to build up there. but it's been used now. The thing with the timeout is just whether it can change the outcome of the match. And that's, I suppose, the counter to bringing it in just 5 points into a game. Is it going to have a big effect on the outcome? They'll hope so. For Bahias, he needs it pretty quickly here if he's going to avoid going 2 games down in this gold medal match. Needs a quick recovery. Eventually got one through. Wojnowski there did well to get to the drop shot from Bahias, that one there.
He's got very long legs, hasn't he? He can bound across the court.
Look at his base as well.
Yeah.
How wide he is in the base.
A fair play to Bahias, who moved him around quite nicely.
Yeah, reverse again with a bit of top. Ball's moving around all over the place. Wanting to drive flick receive, really, that Bahias was trying to do there. Very difficult to execute it. That's a good short angle push. Received that time from Bahias. Really short in the table, that one. Yeah, just being warned here not to wipe his hand on the table. Not allowed to do that, of course, the COVID protocols. Another really good receive. Aggressive receive from Wojnowski. That's just pressure. That foul service.
It was poor, wasn't it? You know, and when you're that far behind, it's the last thing you want.
Reaching for that one, that drive. Just a little bit, the height of the ball you can see here, trying to brush up the back of it, wanted it a little bit more elevation. The ball from Bahias doing enough. With the reverse there. Just to receive.
Better from Bahias, isn't it? Looking a little lively around the table now. Can he convert this extra energy into some extra points?
That's been his big problem here, is behind the service. His numbers are poorer. Again, he's put under such pressure because he's not getting any cheap points there. Wojnowski's reading every single service pretty much here. Reading the choice of spin and the placement as well. He's there so quickly.
And that's his, what, 12th point lost on serve?
Yeah.
And that's the big problem at the moment.
He can't win points on serve, Bahias. It's a non-event really on serve for him there because it's not even he's able to get into the point. Wojnowski's reading it so easily that it becomes his point so quickly. He's trying to respond in kind, but it's difficult there to be aggressive off a service which has landed so short in the table there. Again, you've got to get it up and down so quickly. 5 game points here. Wojnowski for a 2-game lead. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Showcasing here why he's been in the medals at the past 2 Paralympic Games and why he will be again this time and why he's looking like at the moment he's going to be the gold medalist for a 2nd time in his career. 2 games up now. Patrick Wojnowski takes the second, 11-5.
Just looked in control, dominating at the table. And, well, this losing streak perhaps playing on the mind of Mateo Bahias, because he just seems a little short of ideas at the moment. What ideas he does have, very often the Polish athlete is wise to them. Won this point, perhaps the most entertaining of the game.
Yeah, he just no momentum on service at all, though, and that's clearly got to change. Reference the numbers 5 and 12. And the fact that you come back to when he was trailing 7-3 in that game, took both points off Wojnowski's service, great, but then lost his next two. And then from there, of course, didn't win another point in the game. That's got to change for Bahias, otherwise this is going to be over in straights, frankly. A chance to reset the scoreboard here in this game, at least, at 0-0 for Bahias. And there you go, he actually gets... That's not been the problem. Maybe here, if he can take both these receive points to start with, it might be the start of something better. Not the case. Now, here we go. Bahias with the service where he struggled to win points, well, really since the start of this match. His numbers have taken a hammering. So far away from the table there. You're not going to do anything from there.
And also, it's always, well, not always, but more often than not, a really good return from Wojnowski. It puts you under pressure straight away.
Ah, nicely done. Just glanced across. Maybe saw that, and Wojnowski likes to do that, likes to pivot into the backhand corner. And of course, if you don't get that quite right, maybe he didn't get it quite right that time, you expose the line of the table. Still took some executing, though, from Bahias to make it. And really got that serve to bite in the table with the backspin. Wojnowski, devilish to try and return that, pick that up. You're looking for a short push receive. You don't want to give Wojnowski too much length as well to attack the third ball. So you could see what he was trying to do. It's so difficult off that quality of service.
It's a bit better, but overall you feel Wojnowski is licking his lips when his opponent is serving. There's a prime example. What great positioning from the Polish athlete. Got right down there. So much top spin.
If I'm Bahias here, got to go with the backhand service occasionally. Go into Wojnowski's forehand off the serve. Every time here he's just able to pivot.
It's become a bit of a runaway train, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as we suggested, really. He's not been able to win points on serve. The pressure builds as well, though. We've seen a few times where he's taken points on the receive, but maybe he's gone for a bit too much. Purely because he feels the pressure. And, of course, he's used this timeout as well. He's almost out of options here, Bahias, at this point, trailing by 4 in the third.
Only just ticked over 19 minutes this match as well. Might just about make it into 20-minute territory, but at the moment Bahias seems out of ideas. That's the points he wants.
Yeah, the problem is, though, here, there's just a hollow kind of feeling about it. He's trying to keep the body language going, but while he fails to win, really, that many points behind his service, he's clearly not going to retrieve this position. I could see, well, we haven't seen much of Wojnowski having to fish here. He's been so dominant. I could see what he was trying to do. Again, he gets so low as well. I know he's just pushed that long. That one there was very good, just went long there. It's tough to do that we've got the timeout now with Bahias, of course, to come with the 2 services. It's not quite done yet. That's why they've gone and used the timeout now to try and get him over the line in straight games. He'll be looking here. The way he's received, he'll want both points, but in this position, get one of them, keep the advantage, and then serve it out will be the strategy, I think, the visualization strategy. At least one of these next 2 points.
Wojnowski, of course, represented his country in able-bodied table tennis. Has the advantage here in the Paralympics. And despite the entreaties of the French contingent, it looks like a bit of an uphill task for Mateo Bahias.
But he is just doing enough there. I'm not really sure it's convincing that he's found the answer, but at least he's dropped it. Talked about serving short to the forehand. He did that there. And now here, just mixing things up a little bit more. I think he got a bit samey, just pendulum serving into trying to go into Wojnowski's backhand, and he could just move round. There, that was a bit better quality, so Wojnowski wasn't able, he didn't have the time to pivot into the backhand corner and fire the forehand. It's very good. Again, got so nice and low there, as well as the change of direction. Move ahead again. Yeah, nicely done. And got stuck, Wojnowski, for once with his push. Too high, too much airtime.
This is a big point coming up.
Timeout's been pretty good for him here.
Yeah.
For Bahias, that is. It's called by Wojnowski, of course, led 8-6. Since then, through the next 4 for Bahias.
There's a touch of the net, I think, but a very crisp exchange of shots from these two. And, yeah, just a little bit unbalanced from the net cord.
Game point here to take it into a 4th. It's more back to more what we've seen from Wojnowski, devastating on the receive. Two clear point winning margin required then, alternating service here at 10 each. Oh, that flick. It's naughty.
But nice.
Very nice indeed for Wojnowski, because it brings up a first gold medal point for the Pole. Yeah, he has done it. Second time in his career, Patrick Wojnowski wins the gold medal. He's the muscle man of the Class 10 category, and he's shown it again. He's overpowered Mateo Bahias, the Frenchman. He beats him for an 8th straight time, and he seals the gold here at these Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, the Pole. 11-8, 11-5, and 12-10 for Wojnowski.
Was it ever in doubt? He looked in control from start to finish, and Mateo Bahias huffed and puffed and showed some great promise, but in the end it seemed there was only going to be one answer and one winner, and that was the man. And what a journey for him. These athletes all have a story. His parents were sports teachers, and he had to wait for them to finish up. He said, I could wait in the common room, but I decided to join the table tennis club instead. And now here we are, all those years later, with a 2nd Paralympic gold, and very well deserved.
Yeah, richly deserved, of course, after the disappointment losing the gold medal match in Rio to Yang in that 5-gamer. Disappointment this time for Bahias. Said really just wasn't able to get into that gold medal match. Such was the quality of Hojnowski. Of course, had the game point in the third. The numbers narrowed a little bit, but his big problem, as we referenced, just the points won on serve. -6 on the differential there. He regularly came under pressure. He wasn't able to feel comfortable and showcase the quality that he does have, that we've seen through the draw to this silver medal.
But remember, he's, what, 24 years of age. Paris comes next, and he's on track. He said, I want a medal at Tokyo. Well, a silver is not so bad.
Yep.
And then he's got a few more years just to keep getting better. And we will see whether these two arrive in the final again. You wouldn't put it past these two.
Oh, you think Hojnowski will be around in 3 years' time in Paris. I mean, he's still just 31 years of age. He's in fantastic shape, condition. But for Bahias, as you say, the bronze medal in the Europeans, the last European Championships, now a silver medal here at the Paralympic Games. You can see his development. Hojnowski, though, is the king of this division of the Class 10. No doubt about that. So there we are then, another gold medal match wrapped up here at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium in the men's singles Class 10. The gold medalist Patrick Hojnowski of Poland, Mateo Bahias of France, wins the silver medal.